What is Kanye's best and also most impactful era?
Kanye's been in the news. I think he hit for $2 billion on Yeezy, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you, sir. I actually saw a video of him working with his daughter. She was on the ASR a little bit. I guess he's starting to show her some.
Don't care.
Yeah,
I thought that was dope. I
don't care. It's Kanye.
No, it's not saying.
He's a Nazi. Don't care.
Yeah, no.
Just saying.
Yeah,
I just like to see
He's
the
anti-Semitic.
child.
Don't
we've
care.
checked out with Kanye.
We're having a conversation about Kanye, though. So, I mean,
I can still
We talk about his personal life. We're
talking about
let's get to the
his
music.
eras. I don't care about where he is now. He's got a lot of reconciling to do.
Before we can give him peas about the real life stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. Well,
just like I'm not giving an Elon a pass for his fake. I'm giving you my heart solution. No, he doesn't get one. He doesn't get one either.
Elon been showing out. All right. Well, Kanye's got multiple eras, so I think I got my answer. But sorry.
So you can no, you're good. I was just being stupid. But as you can see, kind of on the screen, or if you're not watching and you're listening, so we have 96 to 2002, his early work in Rockefeller. 2003 to 2006, the college dropout and late registration era. 2007 to 2009, graduation, 808s and heartbreaks, and the VMAs incident. 2010 to 2012, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Watch the Throne, and Cruel Summer. 2013 to 15, Yeezus and the Yeezus Tour. 16 to 17, The Life of Pablo, and I thought it was funny, the tour cancellation, because that's not anything really positive, is it? It was like a $10 million lawsuit or something, but
Yeah.
17 to 19, Yay, Trump and the Wyoming sessions. 19 to 23, Jesus is King, Donda, Donda 2, Vultures, and I Am Anti-Semitic. Not me.
Edit. Yeah. It makes
Not me.
Yeah, makes
But
sense. Get that out.
that's him. Like he's Jesus is King, but also I don't like Jewish people.
Yeah, but
I
don't care for. But you know, the King of the Jews is cool. The rest of you, not so much.
So I would pose two questions. Which one of these eras do you like the most, or do you think is his best era? But also, which one out of those do you think would be most impactful? Because those could be two different things.
It can be two different things. Well said. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. For me personally, I may go with 03 to 06
as your favorite.
Yeah, I think 03 to 06 because being in college and remembering the college dropout, then going straight to late registration, coming off the producer that he was with I know the early Rockefellers before that, but him as a producer leading up to that and then following it up with late registration, that was a crazy time, bro.
Yeah.
I'm talking about from the music being dope, the rise of Rockefeller, inspiring producers like myself, yourself back then. That was a powerful wave when he initially got started.
No, I think I actually agree with that. I think my, to your point, favorite of this era would be 2003 to 2006, personally.
Man, he was.
I really wish Graduation was lumped in there as well.
Yeah, true. But it's weird because I'm noticing the years aren't the exact same segments. You have some that are 2 years long, some of them are 3 years long.
It depends on what he was doing, though.
And granted, these are like when shit was released was a little different back then too. But
true.
I don't know. The College Dropout album really spoke to me because it almost sounded like if I was rapping, that would have been my album.
Yeah,
but that Graduation, 808 and Heartbreaks era.
You got to remember too, 808s. This is one thing I've always agreed with what Kanye says is 808s and Heartbreak started a lot of the stuff that's going on now.
Absolutely,
you're talking about impact at that point, though.
Yeah,
right?
I mean that go. Yeah, that's true because we did split it up when you started it. That's fair.
I mean, I want to say 03 to 06, but I damn near got to say 07 to 09, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at you.
My favorite era easily is 2003, 2006. I mean, like,
yeah,
I can almost. I don't think Impact is. I wouldn't put Impact there.
We'll talk about Impact in a second.
Impact next year.
I would. That's just because that's when. If it had Kanye's name on it, I bought it. Or,
for sure.
Or like I wanted to hear it. Like at one point, I was going on to the sites just trying to find Kanye beat tapes.
Yeah.
Like I was all in on Kanye West and what it seemed like he was trying to do to where, you know, I like the idea of, you know, him making music from the perspective of somebody who wasn't from the streets. And there's no knock against that. Before there was a time in this era to where it was almost like you had to have your prerequisite for even being in hip hop was a life of crime, you know, and, you know, Kanye, I don't want to say he put an end to that, but he showed that there was another way to
He capitalized on it because when we talk about the actual backpack rap era, so to speak, whatnot. I mean, you can consider Talib Kweli and
Mos Def.
Right.
Def. You could even talk about Tribe Called Quest as cats that weren't necessarily from the streets but were hip. I think the thing that Kanye did is Kanye blended the, not necessarily I'm square, but he blended the two cultures together, and I can say they even fashionably.
Yeah.
Because even from the way he dressed to the chains and things that he wore and the things that he talked about could be interchanged.
Right.
But the way his delivery was of somebody that was aspiring to graduate for college, essentially. You know what I'm saying? But that 07, 09 era actually could have been a little different because after graduation was supposed to be Good Ass Job.
Yeah.
Which he was actually working on, and there's songs, there's been some stuff floating around that were supposed to be on that project, and some things actually got put on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and they just redid it a little bit. But with him losing his mom, it changed the trajectory of what he was going to do. Insert 808s and Heartbreak.
Yeah.
Which changed a lot of things musically when that came out based on that happening. So that's kind of why I picked the 07, 09 era. Really, if it could have been College Dropout, Late Registration, and Graduation,
no brainer.
I probably would have did that hands down.
Yeah.
But knowing what could have happened in that 07, 09 era and what it led to because of what happened is a feat in itself to me too, though.
What about most impactful?
Most impactful would probably be 2010 to 2012.
This is an interesting one too because we can go multiple ways with this.
Yeah, because you could use the 808s and Heartbreaks.
Is this musically impactful?
That's not where I was going.
Now you could use 808s and Heartbreak as far as musically impactful, but
I mean, I'm just saying, like, as we talk about this, because Kanye's so big that his music impact could be different from his cultural impact.
Yeah, because he had a whole shoe come out in the 2010-2012 era.
Plus, he's too polarizing just to keep it on. When we talk about impact, just to keep it on music. I think with Terry, I think probably that 10 to 12.
That's what I was going to go.
Yeah, probably that 10 to 12 is where it just really was.
Arguably, a lot of times references best album.
That album is amazing.
And then Watch the Throne, that, and the Cruel Summer stuff was actually, in my opinion, I like that more than both of those things.
More than both of what?
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy and Watch the Throne.
Really?
Hold on. Cruel Summer.
No, that Cruel Summer was a compilation album.
It was compilation, yeah.
Which one was the one where he kept dropping singles all the time?
That was My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
No, he's talking about the. He's talking about
like
the.
a whole bunch, My Chain Heavy.
Yeah.
He dropped like a single like
that
every
was
week.
That was pretty much prepping for.
So that
My
wasn't
Dark Twisted
that
Fantasy.
wasn't Cruel Summer.
Yeah,
then.
those
No.
a lot of those weren't even on.
Then I don't even know what Cruel Summer is. Then
It's a
Cruel
compilation.
Summer is a compilation with him and Big Sean.
I don't care
Two
about that
Chainz
then.
and things. Yeah, I know you. Yeah, you couldn't have knew what you was talking about.
Yeah. Cruel Summer.
He was doing the Friday joints where he was dropping songs every Friday.
That's the Good Fridays.
Yeah.
Some of them ended up on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Other ones were just songs. So he had the one song
was
with
that 09 or 10?
That's probably 09, 010-ish, somewhere in there. It was leading up to the release of the album. He had a song on there on one of those Fridays that had J. Cole on it. And J. Cole actually was sneak dissing Kanye on that album. Well, on that song.
They were blacking out every Friday. It's blacking out.
I think I would probably have to change from 2010 to 12. I'd probably have to go 96 to 2002. I think the way that he was sampling and dropping records in the way that he was back then, his influence on the way the Rockefeller sound took off, the influence on, himself, which then turned into College Dropout and what he did for the next, 7 years essentially. That might be the most impact, because I think the amount of inspiration that he fired from or spawned in creatives at that time to create that whole sound is pretty monumental. Now, granted, you could also say this from the Yeezy era. You could also say that from his later stuff as well for different generations, because he spans multiple generations. But I think his early stuff and Rockefeller, my eyes, what I would say is probably his most impactful era.
I think that 2012 the collaboration with Hove, the My Dark Twisted Fantasy, and then Terry mentioned a part about this is around the time where he is this where the Nike collabs really started popping, the colorways and stuff like that. I think that if you throw all that in,
and then I Watch the Throne with Jay-Z, the tour.
That tour was huge.
Them performing the song 10 and 12 times in a row because it was so good at the time.
The Air Yeezy ones were 2007, and he started his collaboration. The first pair was released in 2009.
Oh, okay.
The first pair was
Air
in
Yeezy 2 was 2012 and 2014.
Because remember, Kanye would be on all his interviews talking about, I'm about to design shoes, I'm about to do this, I'm about to do that.
So I'm guessing Adidas was right around the Yeezus stuff in 2013, right?
Or Pop,
probably.
Close, maybe closer to Pablo, maybe, or in between Yeezus and
15.
Pablo. 15? Okay, yeah.
When the brand started, so.
And that actually in itself,
that's
when we talk about the
too.
cultural
impact, for sure.
That him having his deal with Adidas changed the whole face of pretty much being involved in sports and being a celebrity.
True.
Taking over the shoe game. Because people laughed and joked when he talked about Yeezy jumped over Jumpman. For a minute he did.
He actually did. Yeah.
He was releasing all kinds of different silhouettes and things of that nature, and they were selling out immediately. Like, so the Yeezy effect is real.
I mean, music,
I don't know what he's doing now when the clothes, but
the music
shoes. But yeah, that was a special time culturally.
I checked out after 2012 musically, but I'm not gonna cap and say the impact. However you choose to look at it moving forward, there's a couple pockets in there that, good or bad, this the hella influence.
Yeah.
So
honestly, when I think about influence, I think about 2007 to 2019. All right, because this is when
to 19.
Yes, 2017 to 2009. Yeah, the Ye, Trump, and the Wyoming sessions.
2017 to 19.
You said 7.
Oh, he took
2017 to 2019.
I got you.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Partially because when this is an era where we were doing the podcast and we were consistently talking about Kanye West and we were barely talking about his music.
Yeah.
And that's how he was in the news every day as a famous person saying crazy things, but he was still getting people to wear, his shoes. He was still getting people to wear his executive homeless people wear. It was like, even if I didn't want to pay attention to Kanye West and I wasn't doing this show with you guys, like, it's like he was on TV for something on a regular basis and by and large wasn't particularly positive. But the thing is, there are a lot of people who got behind him when he was saying the most nonsensical, this is part of the anti-Semitism run.
The beginning of it.
Yeah. And to where he's bigging up Mein Fuhrer.
Most of those people voted for Trump.
And it's just like where... like I said, this is the part where I just really checked out on him, like to where I couldn't separate the art from the artist. I barely listened to his music only because we have to talk about it here. But by and large, man, I feel like it was the part that his career that is most disturbing to me and I find unsettling. But I feel like he was most influential to, because you still, whenever you see somebody just really talking crazy, and not say, there was a couple things I was like, okay, I can see where he's going there. Expand your mind. But, he was able to say crazy things about Harriet Tubman, about how slavery was a choice. I'm pretty sure this is all around that time.
Yeah.
And, and it sparked.
Almost call that the Candace Owens situation.
And it sparked conversations with people who honestly, who were big into meme knowledge. But those people are remarkably loud on social media and just, when anybody puts a camera in their face. So I think this is honestly Kanye's most influential era, and that's not particularly a good thing.
Yeah, it's fair. I'm happy that we're not talking about Kanye anymore. So, this is a cool segment, but it's cool to think about Kanye back when he was less crazy.
Yeah,
it's undeniable. His that run.
And let me be
undeniable.
careful by calling him crazy, but he is. I mean that in the.
Yeah, don't crazy shame.
No, he's crazy in the sense that anybody that is anti-Semitic and in those type of manners, you're crazy. So
I'm crazy.
You can get it. Anybody can get it.